So to get started, you want to measure out 1 cup or 82 grams of some sort of dark roast whole coffee beans. And of course, I prefer to use like a Vietnamese brand if you can find it, because we are, after all, making Vietnamese coffee ice cream. But use whatever favorite brand you have, as long as it's dark roast and it's really nice and rich and boldly flavored, because we're not messing around here. We want our ice cream to be really super coffee flavored, and we're not messing around with the flavor. So in a large pitcher, you also want to measure out 1 cup or 240 mils each of heavy cream and half and half. You can play with the ratios. If you want a lower fat ice cream, you can always cut back on the heavy cream and just substitute it with the half and half. But you do need a little bit of fat here because it gives our ice cream a nice rich mouthfeel, a nice smooth mouthfeel. So it's a sometime food. You're not eating this thing every day, hopefully. Then just go ahead and place a medium-sized pot over medium heat, and then just add your heavy cream and half mixture straight in. Essentially, we're going to be infusing our cream with the coffee beans, so that way it's really nice and well flavored and really robust. Then you also want to add 1/3 of a cup or 68 grams of light brown sugar. You could also use dark brown sugar here, but I prefer to use some sort of brown sugar as opposed to white sugar, because white sugar to me has less flavor, and I like the depth of flavor that brown sugar gives, and also adds to that nice caramel color to our ice cream, which you kind of expect with coffee ice cream, right? So go ahead and just bring it to a boil. It's gonna happen pretty quickly because there's not a whole lot of cream here. This makes about 3/4 of a quart of ice cream, so if you want to double the recipe, you absolutely can. So it's going to come to a boil maybe in 3 to 5 minutes or so over medium heat. I mean, milk has a tendency to be super quiet, and then all of a sudden it just starts boiling over on you. Then go ahead and cover it and let your coffee mixture rest for about 1 hour at room temperature to infuse the flavor. Then you just want to separate 4 large egg yolks while you're waiting for your coffee ice cream to steep. Then you want to take you don't need a whole pound of chocolate here, but you need 4 ounces of some sort of dark chocolate. I prefer at least 72% cacao. And then just chop it up using a very sharp knife and not cutting your fingers off. Basically, we're just cutting it into a rough chop so we can melt it in our microwave, which is going to act, when we mix it with condensed milk later, it's going to act as a nice swirl throughout our ice cream. That was the idea here. That was kind of my intention making this recipe, was rather than incorporating the condensed milk into the ice cream, which a lot of people do, I want to kind of swirl the condensed milk plus some chocolate, because I love chocolate. Chocolate and coffee, it just goes well together. So, it's kind of the inspiration, or it's my take of a Vietnamese coffee inspired ice cream. So there's my chocolate, nice and melted. Just melt in the microwave for 30 seconds, stirring in between until it's completely smooth. Then you just want to add 8 ounces of condensed milk, which is incredibly delicious, but horrible for you. It's basically just milk and sugar that's been boiled down together to make a really nice, rich, luscious mixture. And just basically stir it around until it's all combined. Such a beautiful sight there, isn't it? And, basically it kind of resembles a very thick fudge sauce, I suppose. I don't know, I never made fudge, so. And yeah, we're going to use that later on to swirl into our frozen ice cream. So now to finish our ice cream, our coffee beans have been steeping in the hot milk or hot half and half and cream mixture for about an hour or so, and it's smelling really delicious and fragrant. I love the smell of coffee. Then you just want to add your egg yolks in, making sure to get every last bit. And of course the egg yolks add some fat, as well as protein for that matter, and B vitamins. Anyways, going off on a nutrition tangent here. But yeah, the egg yolks help to add a richness, and again help our ice cream be very smooth along with the fat from the heavy cream. So just go ahead and stir it in. Make sure to be careful with your heat here. I actually lowered it to about more like low heat, not low medium, just low heat. Just to ensure that we don't burn anything on the bottom, and we also, more importantly, don't curdle our eggs. I mean, we are going to strain our mixture later to remove the coffee beans, but it's best to not scramble any eggs. That way it could be nice and smooth and dissolved and become incorporated into our ice cream. Essentially what we're making here is called a crème anglaise, which is French for like a custard sauce, basically. And custard ice cream, if you never had it before, which I just recently did in Houston, I forget it's Freddy's or something, I don't know. It was like a really great custard place. It was awesome. That's the first time I've ever had custard because it's not that common around here in California. But anyways, especially the Bay Area. I feel like it's more of a Midwest, Southern thing. I don't know. I could be making that up completely. But anyways, go ahead and add a hefty pinch of salt. I mean, more precisely, half a teaspoon. It really helps to balance the flavors and just enhance the flavor of anything that you put salt in. So always add a pinch of salt into your desserts. Then at this point, it's been about 5 minutes or so. I'm just checking the temperature because I noticed it starting to get pretty thick and viscous. And it should be about 160 Fahrenheit, and there's going to be a little bit of carryover cooking, meaning it's going to continue cooking later on to 165 degrees Fahrenheit. But if you don't have a thermometer, you can always stick your spoon in there. It should coat the back of a spoon, and if you run your finger through the mixture on the spoon, it should leave a channel where your finger, swipe through. So that's how you know your custard is completely cooked to the right temperature and everything. So then go ahead and just strain those coffee beans out and potentially any bits of egg that you might have accidentally cooked. And just go ahead, strain it out into your pitcher. And essentially you want to let this sit in your fridge until it's really well chilled. I let mine sit actually for 2 days in the fridge. Oh, but before I do that, almost forgot. 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. Of course, it's just delicious. And then 1 tablespoon of bourbon, brandy. I actually use brandy here because that's all I had. But I like to add a little bit of alcohol, just a generous splash, because it helps to prevent ice crystals from forming when you freeze your ice cream. So it helps your ice cream be a little bit softer straight out of the fridge. So there's no thawing involved, and I promise you, I'll show you the texture later. Oh, make sure to smell your mixture, your crème anglaise, because it's delicious. So yeah, there's no need to thaw your ice cream later on after it's frozen because of that alcohol. So at this point, 2 days later, after work, I decided to make some ice cream. So I took my ice cream maker out. My bowl is completely frozen. Just churned it for about 20 minutes or so, maybe less. I don't really know. I didn't time it. So basically churn it until it's nice and frozen and really thick and creamy and smooth. And this is like the best ever coffee soft serve ice cream that you'll ever have in your life. I promise. I mean, my God, I'm still thinking about how delicious it was. But basically just, put it into your little tub there. And I almost forgot, but thank goodness I didn't. The chocolate and condensed milk mixture. So I just remelted it that I kept in the fridge, and I just remelted it so it was nice and soft, and I layered it by hand with the ice cream and then just swirled it with a knife, as you see there. But honestly, this wasn't the best idea because it kind of seizes up on you, and so it's a little bit hard to swirl evenly throughout the ice cream. So what I would recommend is, as you're churning your ice cream in your ice cream maker as you're churning your ice cream in your ice cream maker, I would recommend just slowly drizzling in that chocolate and condensed milk mixture while the mixer is running, while the ice cream maker is running. So that way it gets nice and thoroughly distributed throughout the ice cream. Because it's a little bit difficult to do it by hand here, like swirling it by hand. Because the chocolate, it just kind of seizes up on you, and so it's not very even, as you can probably tell from the sides of the container there. So this is the next day after work. I was definitely craving some ice cream, so this is straight out of the fridge. I did not allow my ice cream to thaw at all, so you can just see how soft and easy it is to scoop. Usually when you're making homemade ice cream, and I've done this in the past, you have to let it thaw out because it's kind of solid and firm, because we didn't use any sort of emulsifiers or thickening agents, anything like that, that store-bought ice cream has. And it just looks so, oh my God, it looks so good. I'm drooling now. And this is just so rich and creamy and smooth. Oh my goodness. Yeah, my mouth is watering.
Oh my God, it's delicious.
If you try this recipe, make sure to let me know in the comments below, as well as give the video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it, as well as subscribe for new videos every Tuesday and Friday. I'll see you back here next time. Bye!